All right, let's do this. Algebra 1, week 4, and we're going to do quizzes 1, 2, and 3 in getting ready for functions and sequences. Okay, Algebra 1 is all about different types of functions, linear functions, then systems of linear functions, then exponential functions, then like half a year on quadratic functions, and so on. So when you hear the word functions, pay attention. It's going to be something you'll hear all year. All right. So let's start out with the definition of a function. Which rule? Well, the definition of a function would be each input has a unique output. So that input cannot go to two different outputs. Which rule describes the relationship between the input and the output pairs in the following table? All right, so we're looking 5 goes to 11, 7 goes to 15, 9 goes to 19. So let's look at it like this. The change here is 2. The change here is 4. Okay, so the slope is 4 over 2 is 2. That's the slope. Okay, and then so let's read with it. Add 10 to get the input. Well, you can't do that because if we add 10, that would be 5 plus 10. Would that be 11? No. Multiply the input by 2, then add 1 to the result. 5 times 2 plus 1. Oh, that works. Multiply the input by 3. So 5 times 3 is 15, and then subtract 4. That does work, but let's try it for everyone. 7 times 3 is 21. 21 minus 4 is not 15. Yeah, so that one doesn't hold for all of them. And remember, I just found the slope. Now, I didn't actually have to do that to solve the problem, but we notice multiply the input by 2. That's because the slope is 2. And why do we add 1? Because that is what's called a y-intercept. Okay, so there you go. To do something like this, read the rules and see which one holds for all the input-output pairs. Okay. A table, but note that when I saw a table, I immediately found the changes and put my change in y over my change in x, just like something I do automatically. A table is made using the following two patterns. Pattern X, starting number 3, rule add 4. So 7 and 11. Pattern Y, start 9, add 4. 13, 17. The terms in the pattern Y are how many greater? 6, 6 greater. Okay. That was really easy. All right. The points on the following graph show the relationship between X and Y. So when X is 6, Y is 0. When X is 7, Y is 1. When X is 8, Y is 2. Looks like we're increasing by 1 each time. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. So what rule? So now we're going to find the rule that fits for all 3. Divide X by 4 to get Y. No, if I divide 7 by 4, I do not get 1. Subtract 6. That works every time. There you go. It's just got to work every time. Rule: Y is 3 less than X. What would that be? Y equals X minus 3. Check it out. So 7, and then the 8 went 5, 3. All right. In the following pattern, every group of rectangles has one more rectangle than the group before it. And there is a rhombus before every group. Which of the following statements are true? Okay, so let me just look at this little thing here. There's a rhombus, rectangle, rhombus, rectangle, rectangle, rhombus, rectangle, 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 rhombus. I see. So the number of rectangles keep getting larger by 1. Okay. So shape number 15 is a rectangle. All right, I'm just going to extend the pattern out to see that one because 15 is not that much larger. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So now we're going to do 4 rectangles and then a rhombus, right? Is that right? And so shape number 15 is not a rectangle. The next group will have 4 rectangles, yes. Every rhombus is an odd numbered shape. No, 10 is not odd. 6 is not odd. All right, so that was fun. It's all about patterns. And so when you do sequences, sequences are patterns. And actually, algebra is all based on patterns. But, you know, it should seem kind of easy. But go with it because that is what we're building on. It's building your foundation. So it's easy, but pay attention. Okay, rearrange the equation so that n is the independent variable. That means that n being it, so it's always like this, dependent equals, let's write it like this, m times independent plus b. You should remember slope-intercept form. So, you know, you can just remember that the independent is the one on the side with everything else. And then the dependent is on the side by itself. So if we want n to be the independent variable, we want to get it over on the side with everything else. So, and then m has to be all by itself. So really all that needs to happen is that 1 needs to go on the other side. So we could do that very easily. I'm just going to write -2 n plus 6. And then I'm going to put -1. Because when it goes over to the other side, it just changes its sign. You may be tempted to distribute, but no need. Okay, because as long as m is by itself, we have done what we need to do. Find the output y when the input is x is 7. So just go to 7 and look up, and the y value for 7 is 4. Find the output. Oh, so if they give you an equation, just substitute it in. So we would just say -5, 3 plus 13 should be -15 plus 13, which is -2. I felt like typing that one. Okay. Rearrange the equation, you could do that. Repeater, find the output, you could do that. Okay, on to quiz 3. Linear models, not okay. Very good, very good. I like these 5 to 10 minute quizzes. This is very important. The initial phi. Okay, so we have 2 things in linear equations. We have the slope and we have the y-intercept. It's important for you to know that the slope is a rate of change. It could be called the average rate of change. It could be called the increase, the decrease. You know, the y-intercept is the initial value, the starting amount, the beginning. Okay, so initial, and we know that y equals mx plus b. M is the slope and b is the y-intercept. right? So when I see this, I see 6 plus 12t. I know 6 is the y-intercept and 12 is the slope. They want to know the initial fee. They want the y-intercept. That's 6. David wants to rent a bicycle for a couple of hours to explore the city. The price of the bike rental, P, depends on the time the bike was out, T. The price consists of a base charge, y-intercept, of $8 and a variable hourly cost slope. The graph of the function is shown below. Complete the equation. All right, so the hourly charge is blank for the first 3 hours. So they want to know the hourly charge for the first 3 hours is $20. Is the P the hourly charge? P, oh, the hourly charge is the slope. So we want to find the slope in the first 3 hours. So first 3 hours? Yeah. Okay, I would have got that wrong. So 320, but also 0.8. So for that one, we got to find the slope. I'm not going to get it right. 320, 0.8. So I'm going to go ahead and find my, subtract my y's, subtract my x's, and I get 12 over 3, which is 4. So even though it costs $20 total, the hourly charge is $4 per hour because the y-intercept is 8. The rate then drops to blank per hour until the 6th hour. Okay, so then they're saying, what is the slope of this line here? So then let's start with 320. And yeah, so for this line right here, what you can see that has a new slope, right? So at 3, it's 20. And then right here at 6, it is 26. So 26 minus 20, and then 6 minus 3 is 6 over 3, which is 2. It drops to $2 an hour. What a change. The hourly rate drops further. It sure does, doesn't it? And what is that? It's got to be like 1, right? So 626, is that right? Okay. So now let's change our color here. What is the slope of this line here? It starts at 626. And then what is this? 30. I have no idea what the x value is. I got to scroll down. 10. Okay, 10:30. Oh, it's 10:15 at night, actually. 30 minus 26, and then 10 minus 6. And so that is 4 over 4. I was right, it's 1. Okay. And the maximum price of the bike rental is $30. A lot of work, but it's good work. Helps us analyze the graph. Write the functions formula. Wow, okay. Ray is barricading a door to stop a horde of zombies. She stacks boxes of books on a table in front of the door. Each box, that's a slope where they're each box. So if we're stacking boxes, 30 kilograms. And the table with 8 boxes on top weighs 310. That is a point. They gave us 8, 3, 10. So X is boxes and Y is weight. And then we know our slope is 30. All right, so now it's time for me to tell you about point slope form. Y minus Y1 equals M X minus X1, called point slope form. And so you'll need to recognize in these word problems what's given to you. So each was a slope word, and I could tell this is my slope. Okay, my x value is the number of boxes, right? And w, the weight, is the y value. Okay, so then I noticed they gave me 8 boxes, and that relates to 310 kilograms. Notice that's the y unit and that's the x unit. So that is a coordinate 8, 310. Now we can substitute our 3 given pieces in. So 30 goes in for the slope, 8 is going in for x1, and 310 is going in for y1. Then we just get that 310 over on the other side. And let's see if I can get away with not distributing. Let's see. I don't think I should have to distribute, but you can distribute, and then you get it into slope-intercept form. But I don't have to. Okay. What is the price per kilogram? How much is, okay. Seems different. Let's do it. Jada has a stand in the marketplace where she sells ground cumin. Her weekly expenses are $310, or oh my gosh, $300. So that could be a y-intercept or a slope. Let's keep reading and find out what our variables are. If she sells her cumin at a fixed price per kilogram, if she sells, okay, so this looks to, can you tell that looks like a point there? They gave me a unit here and a unit there. So 120, so this is kgs, and this is dollars, right? So that's my variables. This is profit. So notice this is expenses. So what's going on here is Jada has to spend $300. That is going to be our y-intercept, because before she sold anything, she has to spend that amount in order to start the week. Okay, then she can sell her 120 kilograms of cumin and make some profit. So what is the price of a kilogram? So we don't know, but we can figure it out. We know y equals mx plus b, and we don't know the slope, which is what they're asking for, the price. But we know the weekly expenses, and we also know a point. All right, so then we substitute that in, and then we solve for m. 900 equals, and that would be 120m divided by 120. Got this. What is 90 divided by 12? 90 divided by 12 is 7.5. My goodness, that is expensive cumin. All right, how much cumin does she have to sell to cover her weekly expenses? So in order to cover the weekly expenses, we know that's $300, right? So now that we know there's $7.5, it's like that, right? So just divide 300 by 7.5, and we'll have our answer. 40. Did you get 40? Did you do it? If you didn't, you should have got 40. Okay. How many megabytes does each 10 seconds? Okay. So the slope is for every 1 second, and they're asking us for every 10 seconds. So can you tell me the slope? Hopefully you said 5. So if it's 5, what are we even talking about? 5 megabytes. for every 1 second, then what is it going to be for every 10 seconds? Well, we'd have to multiply by 10, so we multiply by 10, and that would be 50. That's how you do that. But you can put that in the organizer if you want more clarification, as you can with any of these problems. All right, so now it's time for you to try them and post 2 problems from each assignment in the organizer.